It's a very, very good morning to you. I'm going to show you the progress in the bedroom in a few minutes. But I just thought I'd come out into the sunshine and just share this with you. I've lit the stove. I'm obviously still in my gym jams. You know the form now. And I've just had to come out because it's just so beautiful. It's quite cool. You can tell that there's a real autumn happening now. You know, the very beginnings of autumn is barely noticeable. Those of you who are outdoors and connecting with Mother Earth will notice those early signs. So it starts off quite slowly. There's a slow, gradual progress to it. And then suddenly it all seems to come together. The colours start to appear everywhere. And if it's not colours, then it's berries. And oh, I've just seen Mrs. Robin up there. Let me see if I can just get a close-up. Because she's right up there in the top branches of the birch tree, singing. Oh, that's not a bad little shot. If I can just hold the camera steady. Sorry, it's very difficult holding the camera steady. You know when you've got the zoom going on, because every little movement is noticed. So just go out and have a look at the goddess in the morning sunshine. And then I've got a very special thanks to two lovely ladies. Got a piece of a pallet there. Been using pallet wood in the new bedroom, which I'm going to be showing you, although that's not finished just yet. So here we go. There she is, in the morning sun. And of course the morning sun now rises in a slightly different place, lower on the horizon. So you get these beautiful shadows happening. So I've got to say a massive thank you to a beautiful lady called Brittany Buxton, and Brittany lives in Charlottesville in the United States of America. And thank you so much, Brittany, because you've sent me by post, by snail mail as they call it, a lovely donation, and I thank you most sincerely for that. And along with a beautiful card and a message, little note, then I got another little snail mail letter and a card and a note, and this time from Susan Patton, and Susan lives in the Isle of Bute in Scotland. Thank you so very much, Susan. Thank you for your donation. Also thank you to those of you who have purchased the book or the map, or indeed pre-ordered the Goddess book, which is coming on in leaps and bounds. The first edit has been done and has come back to me, so I've got a few things now to sort out within that, because it takes a fair bit of work to get a book out, and my editor is pretty good, But he doesn't like putting anything into the text or taking anything out. So he sends me copious notes, which I read through and sort through and take all his advice, and in some cases then rewrite paragraphs. So you get a little peek into the world of editing there. Now, of course, this is the last month of Lunasa. Lunasa covers August, September and October. And I think today is the 1st of October. So it's the last month, or it could be tomorrow's the 1st. I have to check on my computer screen when I go in. One day is merging into the other at the moment because of the sheer volume of work that I'm doing. So I'm trying to juggle all the physical work with the writing and organising other things as well. In fact, I've got a massive amount of organisation to do. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you with that. I've just seen these sloes. The sloe berries, of course, you put them into sloe gin, but they're not much good until the first frost gets to them, and that's when they sort of soften up that little bit, and the fruit itself begins to break down. And as it breaks down, then you get a lovely release of, you know, fruit and juice and flavours. Come on, Jack. So you can see there's lots of leaves falling, and just see now the ash trees, of course, the very first to lose their leaves. Here, a child calling. So we'll go back up and into the cottage, and I'll share with you the progress made in the bedroom, which I'm delighted with. But of course there's been a massive amount of work, even just keeping up with the dust, you know, and keeping everything clear. And then I had an old mattress in the bed, which is stored here in the shed, and I managed to find someone then who would take that to the recycling depot for me. So that was done yesterday. So the little she shed now has got a lot more room in it. You see all the beautiful colours here. That's the birch tree just above. That's the ash tree. And in between the bamboo is the field maple. Getting some beautiful colours on that. I treated myself to a new pair of slippers. I'll just show you. And this, of course, is my lovely wool and alpaca shawl, which I wear in the morning. Much better than a dressing gown. So there's still a few bits and pieces out here to tidy up and clean up as the work comes to almost an end. It's lovely and warm in the cottage. Did you know it takes about 3 years to warm up a stone cottage, and that's through living in it and keeping a fire going in the stove or the grate, and the stones slowly warm up. So even if I left this place today, the cottage would remain fairly warm and fairly cosy for quite a long time. So, look at this. Let me just put my glasses on so I can talk to you. and see what I'm doing here. So I slept in here last night because, again, those of you who know me or are getting to know me, I'm a pretty single-minded woman. I'm quite a stubborn person, and it's through having those strengths, I think, that's got me as far as I've got. But the one thing that I had said from the very beginning of this project, that the last Friday in September I would be sleeping in here. Come hell or high water, I was going to be sleeping in here. So you can see, of course, that the rest of the room is still unfinished because obviously there's work to complete. But not an awful lot now until this project comes together completely. So you can see the panelling around the bed. I stained that and I used a colour wash which only just kind of skims the surface and dries pretty quickly because it's water based, no chemicals in it, and so that allows the grain of the wood to show through. And then I coloured that down a fair bit and made it a fair bit darker then to do the bed. Because the bed, of course, it's an old pine bed. It had got very grubby, you know, it had got very, let's see, I don't want to put the overhead lights on because I think the natural light is better. But so you can see some of the hues of the pine still visible, but it just gives it that rather sort of antique look. Of course, you can have great fun with colour, and my advice to anyone using colour washes is to water them down. So if you make your own, and there's lots and lots of recipes up on the internet, you know, for that, but failing making your own, get one, you know, you could buy a commercial one, and there's lots of eco-friendly ones around, and then water it down so the first application gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. And sometimes you just want to stop at that point and say, okay, I don't want the colour any deeper than this. I just want this sort of, you know, gentle wash. So, and you can see the base of the bed there as well. So I did have two end posts on, which continually got in the way, and I don't know if you can see that, but I actually sawed them off. So you can just see, yeah. The bedspread, which is cotton and very, very old, very old. It's 20 years minimum. I didn't even buy this new. I bought this in a charity shop in North London, and I'm just going to see if I can find, oh yeah, look. So you can see little holes in it there, look. It's actually quite delicate. It does need a little bit of mending. This has been used as a curtain, a throw, a bedspread as it is now, a wall hanging. So it really has been round the houses and back. But it's such a beautiful, beautiful piece of work. You know, just some things you just can never get rid of because they're just too beautiful. So it's got another life now here in the room, and I think the colours I chose, in here were in a way to kind of complement this. I didn't really think about it, you know, because I don't sit and chew the cud. What I do is I just let ideas wash over me like a colour wash, and then things are pulled together somewhere within that end product. This is a Michael Kennedy lamp, and again you've got these beautiful colours happening. I'll just switch it on. So that's a Michael Kennedy lamp, and you can see that you've got these similar colours happening, okay? That lamp I bought, well, I bought that here. I've been here 13 years. It was the lamp base, that is. I bought it at a Brit Fair anyway. It's most of my worldly goods are pre-loved. I think I paid about €5 or something for it, but it is a beautiful piece of work. I mean, it's almost like an objet d'art. So, and Michael Kennedy's work is just amazing. He is a ceramicist who works out of Sligo, so he's quite local. And a lot of the beautiful ceramic pieces I have here in the cottage are his work, which I've managed to procure as pre-loved items. So you see all the tools and nails and stuff there on the windowsill. What I also liked about the colour that I used in here, and I'm just going to show you, when I'm sort of sitting in bed and looking out, look, there's the same colours on the outside of the porch. And I love this little sheltered area, almost like a little secret area outside the cottage, because you see that Leicester famosa, that beautiful shrub, that's covered with beautiful berries that all the little birds come to. So in the early morning, I can hear them outside the window. Rather beautiful. So, and of course, look who slept in the bedroom with me last night. My loyal friend, my darling Jack, yes. And he has his little bed, though I may have to make you a new cover for that bed. So it colour matches the room, Jack, yes. He says, oh, don't bother, Mum. Don't bother with all that. So, kind of remodelled this corner as well. This is just going to be shelves. And in the end then I said to Nick, well, you know, if we can have like a recessed sort of wardrobe. Now it's still in its early stages, it's not finished. It's going to have a curtain on it, but I actually got a nice little rail in there. And you can see still a lot of finishing off to be done, but all that's going to be colour washed as well, so that will come together quite nicely. Then shelves here, and I have decided to put the door back on. So I think that's going to work well now. And what I'm going to do on the inside of the door, I'm going to colour wash that. So what I will do now is, you know, you can use, you know, sometimes you can use the same colour wash and it just comes out in different shades of that colour depending on the wood that you're using it on. Now, here's the big project now. Once I get the wall painted over there, because as you can see it's showing through previous lives, orange and blue by the look of it. But once I get that painted, the idea, hang on, let me just stay steady with this, that's better, I'm trying to focus. I've got 3 boxes of broken mirrors, which have been collected from a local hardware store. And what I'm going to do, you see the 2 corners going up either side of the bed, I'm going to start at the top and work down in some sort of organic shape in each corner, which is going to come down on either side of the corner. So the recessed bit of the corner is going to be mirror tiled mosaic, i.e. with broken bits, and coming right down to that shelf above the bed. I don't know if you noticed, but on the top of the panelling is a shelf. You can see that. So I'm going to run the mosaic along the back of the shelf and down to either side. So I'm not too sure exactly what, it's gone out of focus again, there. I'm not too sure exactly the shapes I'm going to go for, whether I'm actually going to copy a shape of something or just simply go for an organic flow, which is basically what I did here above the fireplace. I'm not sure, and I won't even know until I start it. So we'll see where the energy takes me on that. So there we go. That's, and of course the floor has turned out beautifully. Absolutely love it. Really love it. So there we go. That's how things are progressing. There's little Madam in. She's had her breakfast. Always good to get her in, and then that way those little birdies outside are quite safe. And I'm not taking this camera into the lodge because it's a bit upside down, but Sammy Barkin's in there. He's in the lodge. So, on that note, on this beautiful morning, and once again, thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Susan. And thanks to all of you who support the Bealtaine project and myself here inside Bealtaine Cottage. Have a lovely day, everybody. Blessings to you all.